I'm Matt.
And I'm Mom.
And we're ready to eat.
Today we're going to talk about Field Ration Type C, the B unit. And they were produced between 1938 and 1945. And it contains a biscuit, sugar, hard candy, and coffee. Not necessarily the most nutritious things, but it was something to give the soldiers a burst of energy. The soldier would get 3 B units per day.
So the units themselves were originally only covered in a paper label that would let you know what the contents were. If it was some biscuits, if it was a meaty porridge that you were going to have. But it very easily came off, and so it made a guessing game whenever mealtime came around. You might say, oh no, not beef stew again. So this one is no different with its paper label. But as a kind of homage to World War II, it features some cartoons from Bill Malden, who was an American editorial cartoonist. So we have 2 that are on here, and one that I particularly like are 2 soldiers hunkered down together, and it says, Joe, yesterday you saved my life, and I swore I'd pay you back. Here's my last B unit. And so paying a good little nod to the B unit. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it up and get it out of its little paper sleeve here.
I'm sure they weren't that gentle with it.
I'm sure not. But this one thankfully does have a label, because they found very quickly that if you're having your labels ripped off, you don't know what it is, you're gonna have some upset soldiers. All right.
The shape of the B unit can was changed from an oblong to a cylindrical can due to the mass production problems of being an oblong shape. The soldiers requested a change to a more rectangular shape, something like a sardine can, where they could easily fit it into their packs or their pockets. But because they didn't really have the type of the commercial machinery to do that, they kind of got stuck with what they had.
So the way that we're going to get into our tasty treat here is through the magic of the key that is located on the very bottom of the can. I'll simply take it off and remove it, and there's a little tab here that you insert it and then undo it, such as like a Spam can or processed meat cans. So the cans were originally an aluminized outside, which would be a common can that you would see every day, but they opted for this gold lacquer outside in 1943 to help with corrosion resistance as it's out there in the field.
Go ahead and what could it be?
So it's very easily separating from the top here. So these cans were also very heavy and cumbersome for the soldiers, and due to a pretty limited menu, it became quite monotonous. A number of different companies were involved in the war effort, and so consistency of ingredients as well as the coloring on the outside of the can would vary depending on who was actually producing the ration. All right. We got it opened up.
Be careful, that's like really sharp.
Yeah, I'll be sure to not do that.
Ooh, little treats.
Yeah. Well, we'll go ahead and pull out these contents so you can have a closer look at it. All right, so we've got our can open up here. I'm gonna go ahead and start laying out some of our goodies here. I think Mommy had a few more facts for us.
Sure. The B unit was originally intended only for infrequent use, but sometimes that was the only choice that the soldiers had. In 1943, there was a ration board who reviewed and determined that 5 continuous days of C rations should be the maximum. And all type of C rations, the production of them was ended in 1958. But because they had such a backlog of these supplies, they were still issued through the Korean and the Vietnam Wars.
All right, so I've just unloaded our contents of our can here, and we see we have a lot of sugar and carbs to get you going there. So we have some candies. A lot of candy manufacturers at the time were participating in the war effort. So these originally could have been Charms candies, like Charms Blow Pops. We have some water-soluble coffee, so essentially instant coffee. This one's actually from Nescafe. And so we'll get that tried out. A couple little sugar cubes here with a little character boy on there. And of course, something tasty to have with our coffee. We've got some biscuits here. Let's see how many we have. Oh, we got a fair amount. We got 6 of them. And it looks like they've fared pretty well in the can without breaking. All right, so let's get started here trying out our little treats. We're gonna start off by making our coffee. I was reading the instructions here on the packet of the water-soluble coffee, and it's letting us to know that we're going to use 1/3 of a canteen cup, which is roughly 8 ounces of water in hot or cold water, and add sugar as desired. So we can both have a taste. We've got 2 small cups of hot water here, and we'll go ahead and get this guy open and stir it up. There we are. It looks like freeze-dried Nescafe crystals, so go ahead.
Yum, yum.
Yum, yum. Tastes as good as fresh perked, as they say. Okay, there's that. Uh-oh. I only put... Sorry about that.
That's okay. It'll be fine.
Okay.
And would you like 1 lump or 2?
Let's see. I think 1 lump of sugar probably should be enough for
And
this.
there you go. And I will take 1.
Let me... I'll do that, and then I'll pour it back. That way we can both have a good...
Strong cup of coffee.
Cup of joe. I mean, we gotta keep us going out here.
Yeah, just don't make a mess.
Well...
So much for that.
So much for that.
Okay, I'll put my sugar in.
All right.
It's a good thing I brought that napkin.
Just an actual sugar cube there.
That is a huge lump of sugar. Okay, now for the taste. It's actually pretty good. What do you think?
Ooh, a little better. I'm more of a sugar and cream kind of guy, but let's see here.
And you should tell we take a biscuit
Yeah.
and dunk it in our coffee. There we go.
Let's see. This is like a hard shortbread.
Those are good.
Like a vanilla
Mm-hmm.
kind of flavor to them.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right, well, it's not half bad, but I think I can sympathize with the soldiers that 3 times a day for 5 days or more in a row would be a little bit much for me. All right, so I think I'm gonna get this pink guy, and which one are you gonna try?
We'll try the orange.
All right. So we're just gonna...
So I have my sugar, my biscuit, and now my candy. I should have a little burst of energy here. If I can get the package open.
So the pink one I had there is tastes like strawberry. That's the flavor I got here. If I was a gambling man, that's gonna be citrus or orange.
Looks good. Orange.
Orange?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us for another little video of an MRE opening. This was kind of a fun little throwback one to check out and appreciate to see how things have progressed for MREs.
Well, that's Matt.
And that's, of course, Mom. And we're
Ready to eat.